Okay, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, affects pretty much all of us. All this super fast, short form content we're consuming. What is it actually doing to our brains? To our ability to just think? It's time we really look at the cognitive cost here.
You know that feeling, right? You pull out your phone, maybe just to check one little thing, and the next thing you know, you're in this trance, just swiping and scrolling and tapping. And then you snap out of it, look at the clock, and a whole hour is just gone. It's happened to all of us. But have you ever really stopped and asked yourself why that happens? Why it's so easy to lose that time?
Well, here's the wild part. That whole lost time thing, it's not some personal failing or a lack of willpower. It's actually your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's a feature, not a bug, and it's all being run by a very, very powerful system inside your head.
So, to really get a handle on the endless scroll, we need to introduce the main character in this whole drama. And that's a tiny little chemical messenger in your brain called dopamine. It's the one pulling all the strings behind the curtain. Now, you've probably heard dopamine called the feel-good chemical. And that's kind of true, but it's a little more complicated than that. It's probably more accurate to call it the I want more chemical. It's that part of your brain that lights up and says, whoa, that was good, let's do that again. It's what drives us to seek out things our brain thinks are rewarding.
And this is the loop it creates. And man, is it powerful. It all starts when you see something new. A funny clip, a surprising fact. Your brain immediately releases a little hit of dopamine. You feel this tiny spark of pleasure, but it disappears almost instantly. And that fading feeling, it makes you crave the next hit. So what do? You scroll. It is a perfectly designed cycle, and it is incredibly difficult to step out of. Okay, so what's the big deal? We're getting these little rewards, feels kind of good. Where's the problem? Well, the problem is the hidden cost of all this cognitive snacking. For every one of those tiny fleeting hits, we're trading away something far more valuable. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine your diet. A cookie here, a bag of chips there. It's fine, right? But what if your entire diet was just sugary snacks? You'd feel terrible. You'd be starving for actual nutrients. It is the exact same thing with your brain. A constant diet of these cognitive snacks leaves your mind totally starved for real substance. And this is the trade-off we're making, plain and simple. On one side, you've got deep work. That's where you can really sustain your focus, solve tricky problems, and think critically. But on the other side is fragmented attention. You're just rapidly switching from one thing to the next, never really digging in, just living in a state of constant distraction. One of these builds mental muscle, and the other, well, the other just wears it down. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the issue. Every minute we spend in that fragmented state, we're paying for it. We're not just killing time. We're actively, bit by bit, chipping away at our ability to do the kind of hard thinking that actually matters, the kind that leads to breakthroughs and real understanding. But it gets even deeper than that. This isn't just about what's happening in the moment. See, over time, this habit starts to cause real, physical changes inside your brain. Your brain literally starts to adapt to this new normal. You see, your brain is amazingly adaptable. Scientists call it neuroplasticity. Think of it like this. Imagine all the connections in your brain are like little paths through a forest. The more you use one path, the wider and clearer it gets, right? Pretty soon, it's not a path anymore. It's the main road. It becomes the default. Your brain works in exactly the same way. And that's the real kicker. Scrolling isn't passive. Every time you do it, you're actively training your brain. You're carving and reinforcing those neurological pathways for jumping from one thing to the next for shallow engagement. You're basically building a 6-lane superhighway for distraction right through the middle of your mind, making it the easiest road to take. So, okay, knowing all of that, what do? Where do we go from here? It's probably a good time to stop and really think about our own digital diets and maybe decide what we want the next chapter to look like. So let's just quickly recap the big takeaways. First, short-form content is basically engineered to hook us with a powerful dopamine loop. Second, that loop trains our brains to prefer fragmented attention over deep, sustained focus. And over time, that constant state of distraction can seriously erode our ability to think critically. And maybe most important of all, this isn't just a bad habit. It's a process that is physically reshaping the default pathways in our brains. Which really leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. In a world that is literally designed to break our attention into a million little pieces, how do we fight back? How do we consciously protect the time and space we need for quiet, deep thought? That's the real challenge, isn't it?